Yes, will go. So, good evening and welcome to the day two session of AWS Cloud Administration demo. So, the last session, what we did is we have discussed about, we discussed something about what is cloud computing definition we have discussed. And we have discussed something about infrastructure definition we have discussed. What is IT infrastructure management we discussed, and we discussed something about data center, and we discussed something the challenges that we are going to face if you want to, you know, set up your environment on a traditional manner, right? And whatever the setup, whatever the infrastructure that you're going to set up in traditional manner, we call it as a data center. We call it as a data center, remember. And we have already discussed what are the challenges that we are going to face. All these things we have discussed, right? Now, today, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss something about, we will discuss something about 1 minute. Yes, we will discuss why cloud computing, right? First thing is you should understand that lower TOC. What is TOC? TOC stands for total cost of ownership. Okay, no need to invest crores of rupees. Just invest in lakhs and set up your environment, right? Using something called cloud. Getting it? And the next thing is the next point here is next important point is reliable, scalable, and sustainable, right? The next thing is secure storage management, right? Your data, whatever the data that you're going to store in the remote storage, that is called a cloud storage. We call that cloud storage as S3. We call it as a S3, right? It is secure. Then we have a low capital expenditure here. Low capital expenditure. Okay, no need to spend, more money on your expenditure, low expenditure. Whatever you will use, you pay for that. If you are using for 10 hours, you pay for 10 hours. If you are using for 24 hours, pay for 24, right? And free from internal resources, right? So we don't have any dependencies or internal resources we don't have. We entirely depend on the vendor, right? And it is utility based. Remember, it is utility based. Remember, this is very, very important. And the next thing is easy and agile deployment here. Easy and agile deployment and the device and location independent, right? So this is what exactly what is mean by agile. Agile is nothing but it's a kind of quick, right? Device and location independence. You can access your cloud environment from anywhere or all over the globe. If you just have a laptop with good internet speed, if you have a phone with good internet speed, if you have a tab with internet speed, you can access it. And remember, AWS provides you 24 by 7 support. AWS provides you 24 by 7 support, right? And they provide your support in different ways. We will be discussing that in a coming session. There's nothing to worry. And pay as you use, as we discussed this point earlier also. Now let us discuss something about benefits of cloud computing here. So whenever I'm talking about the benefits of the cloud computing here, very simple. First thing is the benefit of the cloud computing is reducing the hardware cost, operational cost, and deployment cost, right? So because we are not going to buy any physical hardware, right? So that is the reason, it reduces the hardware cost. And operational cost is nothing but we don't need many people to operate because on the cloud with few clicks you can deploy the mission. That's the reason. Okay. So this is all about the where reduces the cost here. Then increases what? Resiliency and increases the performance and increases the capacity. This is what exactly increased. Okay. It increases resiliency, performance, and capacity. This is what exactly it is going to increase. Understanding, right? So this is what exactly how it is going to go. Now done. So now let us go with the top. We are going to discuss something 1 minute. Right, boss. So what are the top 10 advantages of cloud computing we are going to discuss? Pay as you go model, you know this. Increases the mobility as we discussed just now. You can access it from anywhere, anywhere from the globe, and less and no capital expenditure we have discussed. High availability. You will ask me why it is high availability, because inside the cloud we have a concept called, we have a concept called um, clusters. We call it as a clusters, right? So you can configure clusters here. You know what is cluster here? Cluster is nothing but two machines that provide services 24 by 7. This is something called cluster. Even one node goes down, still you can access the data from the other node. That is called cluster, right? Then we have something called easy to manage, right? So no need to spend a lot of time, easy to manage, boss. By using few clicks you can manage the things, right? It's very easy, like how you are working with your Windows operating system. In the same way you are going to work with the cloud environment, right? Then we have something called high productivity, right? So if high productivity is there, then you will get lot of income, revenue you will generate. And environment friendly, because you're not going to manage everything, it is purely environment friendly. We call it as a green computing. Getting it? And less deployment time. With only less time you can deploy hundreds of machines, hundreds of storages. Getting it? And dynamic scaling, right? You can scale from one configuration to another configuration based on your requirement. Getting it? This is something called dynamic scaling, it is called. I'll give you one example here. Take an example. Today you have taken a storage. You have taken a storage. Assume that today you have stored only 10 GB data, right? You're going to pay only for 10 GB, right? In future, you're going to store 100 GB. You're going to pay only for 100 GB. Like this, they are going to provide you virtual infinity scaling. Are you getting it? Like this, they are going to you know, dynamically scale up to virtual infinity. Virtual infinity means what? For example, you are demanding for, million terabytes of storage. Still, AWS is ready to provide you, right? So this is what exactly how it's going to go with. Okay, this is something called dynamic scaling, it is called. And we have a shared resources. Whatever the resources that you're going to configure, that can be shared among the many people, right? Or the many users. Getting it? So this is very, very important thing that you need to understand. I hope it's clear, right? I hope it's clear, right? So now what we will do is very simple here. Uh, This is what exactly how it's going to go with, right? Then we are going to talk about the cloud layers here. So 1 minute, what happened? 1 minute, 1 minute. Yes, we are here. So we are talking something about cloud service layers here. Basically, there are three different layers here. What are the three different layers? One is application, another one is platform, the another one is infrastructure, right? We have a three different layers: application, platform, and infrastructure. These are the three different layers that you are going to see when it comes to the cloud. When it comes to the cloud. Getting my point? Okay. So you'll come to know about, okay, what is application, what is platform, and what is infrastructure, right? So to understand that, you should know something about cloud computing models. You should know. You should know something about what? Cloud computing models. So what are these cloud computing models? The first one is, let me give you, first we will go with on-premises. On-premises is nothing but, like, this is something called a traditional data center, right? So when we talk about a traditional data center, you just see these layers here. When you see these layers, you'll understand network, storage, server, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime, data, application, everything is taken care by the on premises. Everything is taken care by the On premises. Remember, this is what it is. So this kind of environment, we call it as an on premises environment. And we also call it as a traditional IT infrastructure. What we call traditional IT infrastructure, it is called. Okay, this is something called on premises, right? Now what we will do is, let me take you into the other things, right? So when I'm talking about on premises, you are going to manage. You means admin. Admin is going to manage it. Now we are going to talk about the first cloud computing model is nothing but what? IaaS. What is this IaaS stands for? Infrastructure as a service, it is, right? So whenever I talk about infrastructure as a service, whatever the green color boxes you're seeing, that is nothing but network, storage, server, and virtualization. This is all managed by whom? Cloud vendor. This is managed by whom? Cloud vendor. Remember, right? And whatever you see in the blue color, this should be managed by us, right? So that is the reason it is named as infrastructure as a service. What it is called? Infrastructure as a service. This is what exactly it is named. Clear? Understanding, right? This is something called the first cloud computing model. It is right. Now, okay, fine. I hope you understood what is IaaS, that is called infrastructure as a service. Now we are going to talk about the second model here. So when I'm talking about second model, we have something called PaaS, that is called platform as a service. So whenever we talk about the platform as a service, see, from network to the runtime is being taken care by the cloud vendor, and application and data is taken care by us. Getting it? This is something called platform as a service. Getting it? Now the third one is something called SaaS. SaaS stands for software as a service. It is, we call it as a software as a service, right? So when I'm talking about software as a service, you should know one thing: the entire layer is being taken care by the cloud vendor, right? So I will give you one example about the SaaS. The example about the SaaS is, right now we are using a Zoom meeting, right? This is something called SaaS, comes under SaaS. Are you getting it? This comes under something called SaaS. Remember, the very, very important thing. Why it comes under SaaS? Are you installing and configuring anything? Nothing, right? You're just putting a meeting link. You're clicking on meeting link or meeting ID. You're putting a password, and you're joining into the meeting, right? I am just talking to you. You are talking to me. We are, this all transaction is going over the internet through some data center. So this is something called SaaS. Okay, not only Zoom meeting. If I want to tell you, Office 365 comes under SaaS. Office 365 comes under SaaS. Remember, right? Even Google Drive comes under SaaS. Even Google Workspace comes under SaaS. Are you getting it? So this is all something comes under SaaS, which we access over the internet. Which we access over the internet. Getting my point? So this is what exactly the SaaS is going to be. Right? And remember, whatever you see in a green color, you should know one thing: it is being provided by the, or provider will manage. Who is meant by provider? If you are using the cloud from the AWS, the provider is AWS. Getting it? If you are using it from AWS, they will be managing. Google, they manage it. Azure, they manage. Whoever the vendor, whatever the vendor you select, they are going to manage it. So this is what exactly three different types of cloud computing models we are going to see. Understanding, right? So this is the way how you are going to work with, right? Is it clear? Any doubts here about SaaS? I mean, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Do you have any questions here? Any doubts here? Let me know. Please do acknowledge me. Unmute yourself and you can just acknowledge me. Sai Kiran, is all good? I don't know. Fine. So this is all about the computing models here. Now let me take you into. So this is an example here. Infrastructure as a service, server, network, storage, data center, fabric, firewall, load balancer. This is all comes under infrastructure. Getting it? Platform means like middleware, right? Web application, development tools, database, Java runtime. This is all comes under platform as a service. And we have something called software as a service like email, business processing, industrial applications, CRM, ERP, HR. This is all something comes under software as a service. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll also give you one example related to infrastructure as a service. Inside the AWS Cloud, we have a service called EC2. Okay. Basically, EC2 comes under compute service. Okay. Compute service it is called. Inside the compute services, we have a resources called EC2. So you'll ask me what is this EC2 like? We have a virtual machine and physical machine, right? At the same time, when it comes to the cloud, EC2 is acting as a virtual instance. Getting it? And this virtual instance comes under infrastructure as a service. Are you getting it? So now just go with this definition here. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, that is nothing but Amazon EC2. Why we are calling it as EC2, E means elastic. This C and this C is called C2. Are you getting it? This is what exactly the EC2 name came into use. Getting it? So this is what exactly and provides a scalable computing capacity in the Amazon Web Server cloud, and using Amazon EC2 eliminates your need to investing in hardware upfront, so you can develop and deploy faster. Okay, so no need to invest on your hardware. You can just develop and deploy faster. And you can also use Amazon EC2 to launch as many as few virtual servers as you need. Configure security, network, and manage storage. Amazon EC2 enables you to scale up and down to handle the changes in requirement or spike in the popularity. Reducing your needs to forecast the traffic. This is what exactly it is going to do. Okay, so this is something example about infrastructure as a service. Then we have something called platform as a service. So whenever I'm talking about platform as a service, inside the AWS, we have one service that is called Elastic Beanstalk. You know what is the benefit of Elastic Beanstalk? I will tell you, right? See, there is a lot of difference between EC2 and Elastic Beanstalk. I will tell you. Take an example, you are deploying an EC2 instance for Windows. Assume that. Okay. So whenever you are deploying a EC2 instance for Windows, on top of this Windows, you want to install Java. On top of, Windows, you want to install something called PHP, right? So what you will do is you will try to configure an EC2 and you will try to launch the EC2 instance with the Windows operating system, right? Then you want to deploy PHP or Java here. So what you need to do, you need to take the help of the PHP admin or you need to take the help of the Java. Are you getting it? So this is what exactly how it is going to go with. Clear? Understanding. So this is what exactly how it's going to go with, right? But the problem here is as you handle the instance and Windows, but you are not good in PHP, then you should depend on other people who deploys it, right? And this is going to cost again for you. That is the reason what AWS is doing is they are providing a cloud computing model called platform as a service. Within that, we have a concept called Elastic Beanstalk. And what is this Elastic Beanstalk, right? Whenever you're deploying Elastic Beanstalk, you can deploy it with the application. You can deploy it with the application, remember. So Elastic Beanstalk is an easy to use services for deploying, okay, for deploying and scaling web applications and services. Okay, like you can deploy with Java, .NET, PHP, Node.js, Python, Ruby. So whenever you're deploying a machine, with that you can deploy an application, right? Even you can go with the Dockers, you can go with web servers like Apache, Nginx, Passenger. I mean, and we have IIS that is called in, you know, this is a web server application in the Windows exactly, right? So this is what exactly how it's going to go with, right? So this is the information, and you can simply upload your code, and Elastic Beanstalk automatically handles the deployment. The capacity provisioning and load balancing and auto scaling is taken care by the, and application health monitoring also is taken care. Getting it? At the same time, you can retain full control over the AWS resources, powering your application, and can access the underlying resources at any time. This is what exactly it is going to do. Fine. This is what exactly platform as a service. I see. I'm just giving you some detailed information. Don't get panic because see, we are going to discuss this services detailedly, very, very detailed. Okay, we are going to spend around 1.5 hours to 2 hours to discuss this Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, not only we discuss, we also do this practically. I will show you how to deploy an Elastic Beanstalk with Apache, Nginx, with Python, Ruby, Rail, all these things we will see. Getting it? So what happens is on the first day when we are discussing all these things, many times people who come with freshers, right? They get panic. Oh, so much things are there. How? See, on the first day, I have to just give you a world trip, right? So what is this world trip? I have to give you all the things that I'm going to cover in this training, right? If I don't give that, how you will get confident that, okay, whether I'm going to cover everything or not? That is the reason. See, I'm just discussing little, I'm going into the subject. Maybe you are fresher or even experienced. Even your experience, you don't have a knowledge about AWS cloud or any cloud. There's nothing to worry. See, one day or another day, you have to learn this cloud technology because this is going to rule the this is going to rule the IT industry for another 15, 20 years. When I say that it is going to rule the industry for another 15, 20 years, I will tell you this is the right time to start. This is the right time to start. Getting it? So these are very, very important things that you need to know, right? So terminology is not a matter. If you use the terminology one or twice, you will get it. Then we are talking something as software as a service. So whenever I'm talking about software as a service, we have a Google Workspace, we have an Office 365, we have a Dropbox, Salesforce, Cisco WebEx. There are so many things which comes under software as a service, right? No need to install anything, no need to configure anything. Just open the browser, you will have some URL, put the username and password, just log in and start working on it, right? This is something called software as a service, right? I have given you many examples here, right? So this is what exactly. Okay. Now we are going to discuss cloud deployment models we are going to discuss. So you'll ask me, what is this cloud deployment models, right? So very simple here when I'm just talking about cloud deployment models. Basically, we have a public cloud. We also have a private cloud, right? So when I'm talking about public and private cloud, right now you are going to learn AWS, right? Now you might have a question, sir, where this AWS comes in, whether in public cloud, whether it is in private cloud. Basically, I can tell you AWS cloud is an hybrid cloud. AWS cloud is a hybrid cloud. Hybrid means it supports even public, is when it will support private. Getting it? Not only AWS, even you go for GCP also same thing, even you go for Azure also same thing. Right now you will ask me, sir, what are the things comes under private cloud? So for example, we have a Oracle cloud. This comes under private cloud. Getting it? Okay, we have something called IBM cloud. This comes under something called private cloud. Getting it? So these are very, very important things. Even we talk about Red Hat cloud, even that comes under a private cloud. Understanding, right? So this is what exactly how you're going to do, right? So now what we will do is we have something called hybrid cloud. What is hybrid cloud? Hybrid cloud is a combination of both public and private cloud here. So shared security. responsibilities, helps to maintain tighter control over the sensitive data and process. This is what exactly how you're going to. Now you're going to see the differences here, right? So what is the differences here? Like you should know that the publicly shared virtual resources, privately shared virtual resources, supports multiple customers, support clusters to the dedicated customers only, right? And supports internet connectivity. Even this is also internet connectivity, but apart from internet, you can also use private networks or you can also use fiber networks also, right? And suits less, confidential information. So if you have less confidential information, it is always recommended to go for public. In case if you have a core sensitive informations are there, it is always recommended to use something called private cloud. It is always recommended to use private cloud. Remember, this is very, very important thing that you need to understand. Are you understanding now? Is it clear? So this is what exactly how you're going to go of it, right? Now, good, like you can just see, we have something called different types of cloud here. Like we have an application cloud, like we have a Salesforce and Google Apps, and infrastructure as a cloud when we talk about AWS, Azure, Google, Oracle, IBM, this all comes under infrastructure clouds, right? So this is what exactly, and many times question will raise, why only AWS boss? Because AWS is an industrial leader. Most use cloud services here, right? And large infrastructures. Okay. Yesterday I showed you, right? Large infrastructures means I showed you like there are 32, 33 reasons we have, right? And we have a worldwide distributions. We have something called worldwide distribution. This is very, very important thing. Okay, then why AWS job, good salary, job security, emerging technology, competitive. Okay, advantages for business, and this is what exactly. So because any technology that you learn, you think about job only, right? Yes or no, right? And when you think about a job, you think about good salaries, job security. Even if you have a good salary, that is not sufficient, right? You should have a job security, right? You join today, they are paying you, per annum 12 lakhs. That's okay, right? But remember, after 1 year, there is no job security. Some technology came, this technology has been wiped out. Then you're totally lost in loss. Yes or no? So always you should learn the technology which is going to exist in the exist in the industry for 10 to 15 years or 20 years. Remember, correct? So this is very, very important thing that you need to know. So any questions here, let me know, please. Any questions here, let me know. And I just want to show you the curriculum here. So I'll just try to show you. This is my website here. So basically, when you get into this website, I'm going to go into, yeah, yeah, here it is, our courses. You need to go to AWS Cloud Admin. And when you click into this, it will take you to that course page, and where you need to click here, course content, you need to click on download PDF. When you just click on download PDF, you will get like this kind of documentation where you can see like this is all the topics that we are going to deal with. So first we will go with something called introduction. In this introduction, we will discuss cloud computing, what is cloud computing, advantages of cloud computing delivery models, like history, everything we will discuss. Then later, like we will go with something called EC2. See, sometimes this sequence might change. Getting it? So why this sequence might change means once we go with the introduction to the cloud, then later we will go with IAM. IAM stands for user management in the cloud. Then afterwards, like we will also create something called AWS Cloud account. Then we will go for IAM. Then we will go for VPC. Then we will go for EC2. Getting it? Later we talk about storages like S3, right? So this is how we are going to discuss, right? So this is the entire content that you can see this entire content here. So this entire content will be a 40 hours training. And by seeing this content, don't get panic. We are going to handle this content very well, right? See, our goal, see, is you have to learn the concepts very well, right? So we will go little slow. Like I'm saying that it is a 40 hours training. Sometimes it might go 42, 43 hours also. That's not a problem because time is not a barrier. So we will 100% cover the content, whatever it is placed here, right? There is nothing to hide. There is nothing to hide. You can download and keep it this particular document with you, and you can mark every day whatever the concept we are discussing, right? So this is the importance here, right? I hope you are understanding. I hope you are understanding, right? And this is all the course content here. And I just want to give you some more information here. So what is that is whenever, uh, 1 minute. So we are going to start this session from Monday. Okay, Monday, 6 p.m. IST, and it is a totally a 40 hours training, 40 hours, 40 hours training, and per day, 1 hour. Right, this is what exactly we are going to deal with, right? And we will be sharing recordings via Google Drive, G Drive. Okay, remember, we're going to share via Google G Drive. And apart from this, the fees, right? It is something called 7,999 is the fees. Okay, so this is a fee. Actually, the exact cost of this particular training is 16K, right? But right now we are running an offer batch. So that is the reason we are offering it for, 7,999. This is what exactly. And we will also provide quiz, okay, to evaluate, quiz to, you know, test your skills, test your skills. Okay, and finally, we will also provide scenarios also, right? So scenarios or projects we can say. I'll try to provide around 3 projects here, right? And we'll provide sample resumes, sample, sample resumes. Actually, sample resumes just to understand how to build a resume. Many people, what they do, they copy this and paste into the other Word document. They will change name, phone number, email addresses, and they will post it into the job site. No, you should not do at all like that. Sample resumes just to understand how to build your resume, right? Always people take it into wrong, right? When I give a sample resume, simply they will do another copy. They will change email address, phone number, name, and educational qualification and certifications. They will send it to the interviewer. So again, there will be a problem, right? Sample resumes, you are going to see the sample resumes and you are going to build your own resume, right? And we'll also provide, job assistance. Okay. What is this assistancy? We have a tie-up with some consultancies, and what we will do is we will get a requirement saying that they have a opening for AWS Cloud Administrator, Linux admin, or AWS with DevOps, or multi-cloud like AWS with GCP or Azure. Like this, we will get a requirement, and definitely we will be posting that particular requirements to you, right? If you are ready, you can apply it for it. If you are not ready, then prepare well and apply for it. This is what exactly we are going to do. Is it clear? Right? So this is like how it is going to work. Okay. And see, many times what happened, by seeing this cost, many people they don't show interest, right? But telling you, right, whatever the content I'm going to give it, if you pay 16K, The same content I'm going to give it somewhere in 8K. So what I request is take the advantages of this opportunity and register and take this training and build the career in IT. Getting it? So you should know one more thing is cloud computing has become very core technology for IT industry. There is, if a person doesn't have a knowledge about cloud computing, it's very tough to get into the IT industry. It is very tough to survive in the IT industry. This is what exactly the challenge. Okay, so this is all about the benefits of joining this training. Getting it? And one more thing is certification assistance also we will provide. If some interested student come to me and I'll give you all the process, right? So there is nothing to worry about, right? So this is all about how this training goes on. Hmm? So, and this is all about today's session exactly. So we are going to start exact sessions from the Monday, right? So we will call you tomorrow and we will take your feedback, right? So any questions, let me know. Question.
Yeah, can you show some curriculum activity that I didn't see in the screen?
Curriculum, I did not get you, pardon. 1 minute.
Curriculum, yeah, you showed about